Hello everybody. Hello everybody. I know nobody's going to hop onto this video because you're all at work, but this is just going to be a quick video because something just dawned on me this morning, and it was the idea around cinnamon. I can't even remember why it popped into my head. I was speaking to someone, and then I realized I just assumed everybody knew about cinnamon in regards to Ceylon versus cassia cinnamon, or you could pronounce it cassia, whatever. But I just assumed people knew the difference, and now I'm starting to realize that I never maybe specified it and people didn't know the difference. So anytime I'm recommending cinnamon, which is a lot, you know I recommend cinnamon a lot, like all day, every day, I'm generally referring to organic Ceylon cinnamon, and anytime like I comment about it or show pictures, I always say organic Ceylon cinnamon. You understand the organic piece, and cinnamon is very, very, very popular, not just here, all over the world, which means that if you're not getting an organic one, you're definitely getting herbicides and pesticides and whatnot. So organic, you get the organic aspect. There's many benefits to cinnamon, and one of them is for its beneficial effects in the gut. And if you consider herbicides and pesticides, they're designed to kill bacteria and other microbes and pests and pathogens. If you consume that, what's it going to do to your bacteria? So that's like from a basic point of view. I know everybody has different opinions around organic, but this is from what I'm teaching, from my aspect of teaching. But we're just going to go through the cinnamons right now, specifically Ceylon versus cassia. There's 4 main types of cinnamon, but you don't need to know about the other 2 because really in stores, unless you're looking hard, you're only going to come across the Ceylon or the cassia. So, okay. Cinnamon, as we know, is like really popular everywhere. It has many, many benefits, from helping with blood sugar and carbohydrate metabolism, for improving mitochondria health, for reducing inflammation, supporting the microbiome, supporting the good bacteria. It has antibacterial and antimicrobial benefits, which sounds really contradictory when I'm saying it supports bacteria. So it can help with the kill the bad and upregulate the good. And of course it tastes awesome. Like, cinnamon is so good. Cinnamon rolls, cinnamon in your coffee, cinnamon in your yogurt. Like, cinnamon tastes good. So it's one of those things that people are going to use willy-nilly without me having to push them too hard because it tastes so good, and then I know they're getting all these benefits. Most of the time when I'm recommending cinnamon, it's for the blood sugar benefits, it's to help you metabolize carbohydrates, it's for the anti-inflammatory, and then it's for the microbiome, gut bacteria aspect of things. So that's when I'm recommending it. And most people don't realize there's more than one type of cinnamon. Like, most people won't even read the ingredients. They'll just pick up the bag and it'll say cinnamon and that's it. And then they'll go. And you can get organic Ceylon and organic cassia, but it might just say organic cinnamon on it. It depends on the brand. So you really do need to look at the ingredients. And most people are not. They're just looking organic cinnamon. Great, I'm going to buy this. And that's not necessarily like awful, but I want you to understand this so you can make your own decision. Like, both of them are healthy, but one contains a toxin that can be damaging if you eat too much of it. And considering for how much I recommend cinnamon, you could be eating a lot of it. So let's look at cinnamon. Well, we know cinnamon is made from the bark of the cinnamomum tree. Cinnamomum. Say that 3 times really fast. So the strips of the inner bark, they're peeled and dried until they curl into rolls. And how the rolls or the quills look can tell you which cinnamon you have as well. I might share a picture underneath once the video is done. So the properties or the benefits of cinnamon generally comes from its essential oils and these compounds particularly cinnamaldehyde. And this is really the compound that gives cinnamon its yummy flavor and its aroma. And oils are really where a lot of the benefits come from, even though there are a lot of other flavonoids and beneficial molecules in cinnamon. But when we look at these two, so the first one that is more common, and again, if you haven't recognized it, like cassia is the one that's more common that you're going to get in your generic stores. It's the one that if it says organic cinnamon, chances are it's going to be organic cassia cinnamon. So the cassia cinnamon comes from the Cinnamomum cassia tree. And there's lots of subspecies, but like when we look at the main categories, we're looking at these two. So the cassia tends to be a darker brown red color, and the sticks are thicker and rougher. And even when you get the powder, it can seem more grainy and rougher. And if you look at the sticks, they will be thicker, and you might just have one big roll. Again, I'll share the picture below so you can compare. Cassia cinnamon, it is considered to be lower quality and cheaper as well. Obviously, for our refined taste buds, we don't want cheaper and lower quality, but we're looking at the health aspects. So generally in your stores or supermarkets, cassia is what you're going to find unless you're specifically looking for the other ones. So cassia is what's used really in most cooking and baking and recipes that you would buy in the store, unless you're baking yourself, specifically using Ceylon like I do. So roughly 95% of the oil in cassia is cinnamaldehyde, which does give it that spicy, stronger flavor than the Ceylon. But Ceylon is the one that I really want you looking out for and purchasing. And it's maybe $1 more expensive, but in my opinion, it's the safer, better option. So Ceylon is actually also known as true cinnamon, and it's native to Sri Lanka and other parts of India. So it comes from the Cinnamomum verum tree. So Ceylon is actually a lighter brown color, more of a tan, and it's more kind of ruffled. It has many layers inside it. It doesn't have that one thick roll. It has many layers. So when you look at the sticks, that's how you could decipher which is which. So it's not like very expensive, but it's a bit more expensive than the cassia. And it has more of a delicate, mildly sweet flavor. I have tried both of them, and I prefer the flavor of the Ceylon. When it comes to Ceylon, it's really only 50 to 63% of essential oil is cinnamaldehyde, compared to the other one, which is 95%. That's why it's milder and gentler in its flavor, but it still has all the benefits, if not more, especially for the amount that I'm recommending people consume, which is a lot if you're having it breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and in your coffee. And some people are taking, say, cinnamon pills on the weekend or whatever. Like Ceylon is where we want to be at. So both do have their benefits. Both are very helpful for blood sugars, metabolizing carbohydrates, helping with diabetes, helping with fatty liver disease. A lot of the studies do show that Ceylon actually is more beneficial, but here's what I want you to know. They both have benefits. They both can help with even Alzheimer's and brain health, and even heart health and cardiovascular health. Like, they have an abundance of benefits. They, being cinnamon, has an abundance of benefits, and both do. But here's the thing with the cassia. Cassia contains high amounts of coumarin, and coumarin can be very toxic, especially in the liver, in high doses. So if you consider how much I recommend cinnamon, if you're taking it as I recommended and you're taking cassia, then we could have a problem here. And you know, I talk about detoxification and the liver and the gallbladder a lot, so this is definitely consideration. And I do apologize that I didn't do this sooner. I think I just assumed that people knew this. I think I was like, this is common knowledge, but then this morning I realized obviously it's not. So coumarin is a compound found naturally in several plant species, but more specifically in the cassia. In rodent studies, coumarin is known to cause kidney, liver, and lung damage. And the lung is important in itself when you consider the issues we've had over the last couple of years with a certain virus targeting the lungs and leaving scar tissue and damage. And normally I'm recommending good cinnamon to help with all of that. But if you're taking too much of the cassia and then coumarin in high amounts, you could be causing further lung damage. And there are some research that does say, and I roll my eyes because I always hate saying this, but there is some research that, and even though they're isolated incidents, that too much cassia cinnamon can contribute or may be a factor in cancer. So cassia cinnamon, it is very high in coumarin. It can damage the kidneys and the liver. It can be toxic in high doses. And people are going to ask the dose, but I think let's just not use it because I already recommended cinnamon in high doses. So generally coumarin is found at about 1% of cinnamon in cassia cinnamon, whereas in Ceylon it's like 0.004%, so it's like 250 times less in your Ceylon cinnamon. Like, it's so low that it doesn't make a difference how much Ceylon you use. Like, I literally go to town on Ceylon. It's in my protein shakes, it's in my coffee, it's like everywhere. And I don't have the fear because I specifically buy organic Ceylon cinnamon. So I've always recommended that for years, and I am always apprehensive because people already have issues with detoxification, whether or not that's the liver or the kidneys or the lungs or the gallbladder or whatever. So I don't want to be adding to the burden there, especially when I'm already telling people to have a lot. So like when we look at cassia cinnamon, in some people, just adding 1 teaspoon a day could bring them over that threshold of tolerability for coumarin in them. Like, everyone's going to be different and different liver sizes and all, but for some people, 1 teaspoon of cassia cinnamon could be toxic to them, and they might not even know it, and you don't know it then until you've done it a lot, and then eventually you start to see these side effects and issues. So if you do eat a lot of cinnamon regularly, which I know all of us do, then it is going to be in your best interest to look for organic Ceylon cinnamon, and you can get it, like, you can get it in Superstore. I've got it there. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it in Community Foods. You can get it. So the take-home message is cinnamon is amazing. We love it. It tastes awesome, except I would encourage you to go with organic Ceylon cinnamon, please. It's too risky to go with the other one and still take the doses or the amounts you need to see the benefits. So I hope that makes sense, and let me know if you have any questions. Bye bye.